The original series script was just simply sent to me by Michael Waring, the producer, and he sent me these 2 dog-eared scripts, and it was called Magnox. Magnox are the names of the fuel rods that go into the nuclear reactor. I remember reading the scripts. I was editing something else. I didn't understand a word of them, but I couldn't stop turning the pages, so that's how it came about. At the time we started shooting, we only had 4 episodes, I think. The other 2 were written as we were shooting, and the ending hadn't been formed. In the end, I think it was 15 different endings were written. They're all sort of variations on a theme. When you shoot these series, you sort of finish them, and then you go on to something else, and obviously we worked very hard on Edge of Darkness. I had no idea it was going to get the reaction it got. And again, at the BBC, they don't interfere, they don't change anything. The length of the episode doesn't matter. The first time I ever got any inkling of the reaction was opening Time Out one day, and there was a double-page spread talking about Edge of Darkness, and I thought, this can't be the same thing I shot, so actually it was. I was always amazed at the BBC in those days because they just let you go off and shoot these series. There was no, I think I had 1 phone call from the BBC in 4.5 months of shooting, and I was in Gleneagles in Scotland at the golf course. We were shooting what was a big NATO conference there, and I remember the phone going literally in the room I was filming, and it was the head of BBC Two, who said to me, "I hear you want 150 extras. You can only have 100. So I told him to bugger off, basically, and slammed the phone down on him. I never heard from the BBC again until I finished shooting.
Well, I think it was one of the first TV or let's say media looking into the world of plutonium and Iran and the Middle East kind of crisis, which has come forward today has been relatively true. And I think on that, with the heartfelt of a man losing his daughter and how that would just feel to any parent, a lot of people could relate and were intrigued by it.
I saw it back in the 80s. It was pretty compelling. He was trying different kinds of things, very good performances in it. It was a mystery and a crime thriller, and there was a political thriller set in a time in the UK when there was a lot of union problems, and you saw a lot of political unrest, and it reflected its time very well.